listen.
In the summer of 1982, a serial killer is stalking the twin cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota.
Please, there's an ambulance too. There's a girl hurt there.
19-year-old Karen Potak was the first victim, beaten and left naked in a snowbank.
What's the address?
I don't know.
Who are you? Hello?
6 months later, a small-town girl named Kim Compton is found stabbed to death, face down at a highway construction site.
I'm sorry what I did to Compton. I couldn't help it.
Then there is 40-year-old Barbara Simons, pulled from the underbrush along the banks of the Mississippi.
Fire emergency.
Please don't talk, just listen. I'm sorry I killed that girl.
Following each incident, calls to police from a man known only as the Weepy-Voiced killer.
I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm sick. If somebody dies with a red shirt on, it's me. I killed both of you. I'm sorry. I'll never make it to heaven.
Calm down, calm down.
Minneapolis Detective Don Brown is assigned to reconstruct Barbara Simons' movements on the night she died. The trail leads him to a bar called the Hexagon and a potential eyewitness.
One of the waitresses thought that she had met a man at the Hexagon bar and that she was with him. She thought that the victim was leaving with that person because she told the waitress at one point in time, I hope this is a nice guy because he's going to give me a ride home.
Detective Brown shepherded several of the bar's staff back to St. Paul homicide.
There were approximately 169 photos that they went through. We were able to eliminate everyone else as a suspect except Paul Stefani.
Paul Stefani is a 37-year-old janitor with a history of psychiatric problems and an aggravated assault conviction.
He's the #1 suspect at that point, definitely.
At the corner of Hennepin and 6th, a scattering of prostitutes work the street. Denise Williams is among them.
I was walking around looking for somebody that was looking for me.
Paul Stefani pulls up and flashes some money. A deal is struck, and Denise climbs into Stefani's car.
And we went to his apartment, and he was real quick, like 2 seconds.
The John offers to drive Denise back to her corner in Minneapolis.
The road was like, there was no street lights. It started getting dark now, okay? And he's like, this is a shortcut. I was like, oh yeah, excuse me. I was like, this man is up to something, because this is not a shortcut. So I'm like, dang, I ain't got no weapon or nothing. But then I looked down on the floor of his car and there's a bottle, a tab bottle. So I'm like, well, if he tries to do anything to me, I'm just gonna hit him with this bottle and run.
Denise Williams' instincts serve her well. Stefani pulls onto a dead-end road, produces a screwdriver, and stabs her in the stomach.
That's when I just grabbed the bottle and I just hit him in the head. And he started bleeding all over me. But I was just fighting, you know. Hit him with the bottle, poke him with the bottle, poke him with the bottle. At the same time, I'm grabbing for the door trying to get out the car, but he's on top of me just joking everywhere.
Denise manages to open the car door and tumbles onto the pavement. Denise has 15 puncture wounds from the screwdriver. She is transported to Hennepin County Medical Center and rushed to surgery. Meanwhile, in St. Paul, emergency operators take yet another call. On the other end of the line, the Weepy-Voiced killer. Only this time, he's asking for help.
I need an ambulance.
Where?
1505 Westminster.
1505
Yes,
Westminster. What's the problem?
I'm all cut up. I got beat up.
What's your apartment number?
208, I'm bleeding.
208. Where are you bleeding from?
From my arm, my face, my head.
Paramedics respond to 1505 Westminster, apartment 208, the residence of Paul Stefani. In short order, police connect the dots between the attack on Denise Williams and Stefani's injuries. They head over to the hospital and ask Denise if she would recognize a picture of her attacker.
They showed me some mug shots. I picked him out.
ID'd by Williams as her attacker, he is convicted of attempted murder and charged with the murder of 38-year-old Barbara Simons. critical to the case, linking Stefani's voice to that of the Weepy-Voiced killer.
Calm down, calm down.
This is an excerpt from an audio interview conducted with Paul Stefani shortly after his arrest. And this is the Weepy-Voiced killer. The similarities in voice are compelling. Experts, however, cannot conclusively say the voice is the same. Then the defendant's sister listens to the tape.
The defendant's sister testified. She listened to the tapes in court, in front of the jury, put her head down, cried. That's Paul. That's my brother.
After 6 weeks of tapes and testimony, Stefani is convicted of murdering Barbara Simons. Stefani is sentenced to 40 years hard time. Meanwhile, across the river in St. Paul, the gears of justice grind to a halt. Ramsey County prosecutors see no need to pursue a trial in the other Weepy-Voiced cases, the assault on Karen Potak and the murder of Kim Compton. "12 years after the Weepy-Voiced killer was packed off to prison.
Stefani had been diagnosed with cancer, and he wanted to talk to some St. Paul policemen and clear the slate.
You have the rights to protection against self-incrimination.
Paskett and his partner Keith Mortensen drive up to the Oak Park Heights Correctional Facility, a chance to finally close the books on Kim Compton and Karen Potak.
Well, with Karen Potak, he says he's driving down an alley. He sees this girl behind a bar, I believe. She doesn't have a jacket on. He stops.
She got in my car, and I gave him my jacket until I said, the heat will be on in a minute. I had to clean some of the ice off the windshield.
Stefani tells detectives he drove Karen Potak to a deserted parking lot, then beat her with the lug end of a tire iron.
Do you remember where you hit her with the tire iron, Paul?
Yeah.
I mean, did you hit her 1 time, 2 times?
Must have been about 30 times, but I mean, a good 20 times, I think.
As he relived these incidents, he dropped back into the same voice and same person that he was 20-some years ago.
I was even hurt when I went back to the car. Oh, there's going like this. I mean, and that's what made me want to go to the phone. I mean, I really wanted to help her. My mind started clearing up. What are you doing? You had a chance to make another friend, I kept yelling at myself. You like to make friends.
6 months after the attack on Karen Potak, Stefani confesses he walked into a local diner and made another friend, 18-year-old Kimberly Compton. According to Stefani, Kimberly Compton agreed to go for a ride and see the sights of St. Paul at night.
I said, I want to show you something. There's really a nice view over here. I mean, you see the nice river. I think I mentioned somebody you can probably have something to tell your parents about then.
So he uses the pretense of the view. They get out of the car.
But as I walked out of the car, I carried my knife with me. I had every intention to hurt me. He laid down in the grass, and I remember opening up her bra, and he just started stabbing her.
I don't know exactly what turned him on, but the only way you were going to turn him off was put him behind bars.
Killing seemed to be the thing you were supposed to do. That was part of life.
Stefani's confessions close the book on 2 unsolved cases. But the Weepy-Voiced killer is not done yet. In his mind, he wanders back through the gallery of his crimes and pulls out a 4th victim, a woman he claims to have drowned in the small town of Roseville, Minnesota.
You say that you both got into the tub?
Yes.
And you're positive about that?
Yes. Because, I mean, I remember when I pushed her head underwater, I could see her face.
Detectives find a report to match Stefani's story. The unsolved drowning of Kathy Greening in 1982. Word travels quickly to Pepin, Wisconsin, Kimberly Compton's hometown.
He has finally confessed to murdering Kim. And I gotta actually say this, I truly forgive him, because he was crazy. But the pain is always going to be in my heart.
On June 12, 1998, Paul Stefani died of cancer in prison.
Don't talk, just listen.